Welcome back, everybody, to the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series. It's the finale for round 10, for season 10, sorry, round 8, which will be, of course, the final round at Road America. Back at Road America, been a couple of seasons, I think, since we were last here. Joined once again by Alice for the final round. Alice, what are we looking forward to other than that torrential rain that we can see on screen?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up. This is some of the racing conditions of all time that we're currently experiencing, and the track is very soaked right now, and it's rumoured to dry off later in the race. Whether it gets, because this is very aggressive rain right now, whether it gets to the point where you need to dry later on remains to be seen, but these drivers are going to have a handful of time trying to keep it on the track. In the meanwhile, as we see IMSA have an issue going through the kink.
Big off for the Mercedes driver. Let's take a look at the replay. Drop a camera here. Go esports, Ivan Vesga in that Mercedes and just getting loose. It's reminiscent of Joseph Newgarden. Better though. So championship. I'll give you the lowdown. Daniel Morphy, if he wants to keep his hopes alive of P1, needs to put it on pole here today. It's going to be very difficult. The halfway through the season driver class switch of Albert Preem in the Mustang, very quick in practice, so Albert Preem problem. Daniel Morphy. We'll keep you updated on championship implications as we go through the session, but right now let's go on board with Callum Lux, who got his podium last week after trying to get one in of a Nürburgring, and it got a bit wrong. And Callum weaving because he wants some tyre temperature, and it's so difficult to get the temperature up to tyre. It is very, very wet out on track.
Honestly, I don't think you're going to get too much higher tyre temps. You just need to find some third grooves through the line if you need to. Just keep that car pointed forwards.
Apologies, everybody, if we just dipped out for a second then. It looks like my Ethernet cable. Get that back in a second. We are now. We are back live again.
I hesitate to mourn the loss of George Hill.
I've been kicked from.
You have not. Well, you've not been kicked from this Discord call, so that's promising at least.
All right, everybody, we will be back in just a second. All right, welcome back, everybody. Apologies for the technical issues there, but we should now be good to go for the rest of the session. So just waiting for... Oh, and in fact, we've got a couple of entries, and I'm going to have to get a session for you. We'll keep our eyes focused on Daniel Morphy right now, who sits at the top. Trying to improve that gap at the front, 1.7 seconds. Obviously, a lot of drivers have not set a lap time yet in this session. Alice, what's it like driving out there in these super wet conditions? I know you did a couple of laps on the during the warm up.
Well, I drive the GTP normally, so that's what I took out. It's not bad if you don't mind going slow. There's a couple corners that will trip you up. Canada, I think, is probably the worst, actually. Just in the fact that, at least in the GTP, your braking zone is so far back, it would have to be before the turn before Canada, which I don't even know if that's marked on the track map. Oh no, it's 11B. But you need to get on the brakes early there. Just making sure you can actually get that car slowed down in time. Obviously, visibility is going to be poor if you're chasing another car, which is nothing to be concerned about. Although the aero is not going to be too bad in these conditions, given the fact that you're probably not approaching your car's top speed anyway. But yeah, just keep it off the rubber line and keep it away from the apexes, because that's where most of the puddles seem to have ended up. And also, good luck in turn 5. The entire thing is wet.
You can see on that mini map as well with radar that rain is not going anywhere.
It is lightening up. If we just zoom in briefly, you can see there's this brief patch that we've gone through with no rain. So probably the best times, if you can keep it on track, are going to be now. But it's still very challenging conditions. It's not an easy thing by any stretch of the imagination.
Callum looks absolutely flying out there in the McLaren. And your Morphy now down to third, 2.8 seconds off that time that Callum set, and Callum is going even. Remember, Morphy needs pole position. Stay in the fight.
So Sergio Sanchez Cachafiero just took the high side of... Oh, they're getting close.
There in the final.
Cachafiero took the high line around the horseshoe and managed to get just the foot down to go around our invited driver for the day, Robin van Binsbergen. Oh dear, that's rather unfortunate, and Callum Lux has ended up in the gravel.
Yeah, let's take another look at it. Under investigation by race control straight away. Bossy, who is behind in the final corner. It's around the edge, and it looks to me like Bossy has a little bit of a twitch under braking. Let's take another look at it. Yeah. Twitch under braking or something from Bossy there, I think.
Just message from Callum Lux in the @drivers channel, singular question mark.
Morphy gets a little bit closer then.
It's one of those things that it's just so perfect, yeah.
Not angry. Just like, what happened? Not shouting down the radio. Race control wouldn't be very happy, would they? Just a single question mark. Callum looks back out on track though. Albert Preem goes to P2, just ahead of Daniel Morphy, who needs to find a little bit more time. Simone Bertoloni is going quick as well. The AM driver currently sits third in AM, but a set of purple sector 2. So let's see what Simone can do on this lap. But it is looking an awful lot drier at this stage in the session. An awful lot dry, still very, very damp, but it is drying up, and Bertoloni comes across the line, and I'm going to guess that lap time was invalid. Yes, it was. It put them a 7 overall, unfortunately.
They're also running out of time. It's 2 minutes 30 left on the clock, and that's just about enough time to get a lap in here, so you need to make these last laps count, because if you don't have a lap time put in right now, well, it's just putting Mosey with that distinction right now, I suppose, but...
Daniel Morphy is improving.
if you want to move up, like, you've got to do it now because you are out of time.
The lap already a relatively long one around Road America, and when you add all this rain to it, it just takes a lot in. It's even longer to get around. Plenty lap time, like I said, that's original pole. Morpy gets a purple sector on this lap. He'll get one more when he comes across the line. This lap could be enough, potentially, to go to the provisional pole position. The other sector times are still pretty quick. But different cars quick in different places around here. So we'll have to see what Morpy can do down the straight on the final sector. Straight line speed in the Mercedes, remember, comes across the line. Is it enough for pole? It is enough for pole by 1.1 seconds. Daniel Morpy absolutely flying out there in the AMG into turn 1 over the big puddle and keeps it going. We'll try again. Matthias Weiten is improving. Sanchez goes up to P3. What can Matthias do? Matthias only P2. That's going to be music to Daniel Morpy's ears, but still only 6 tenths clear now. Half the advantage, nearly. But still 6 tenths. Things of Van der Moelenbroek
still a huge
also
margin.
Improving, but an invalid lap for Van der Moelenbroek in the end. What can Albert Priem do? The man that could deny pole position. It's a 22.687. Not enough for pole position, but he will get one more lap to try and take it away from Daniel Morpy. Matthias has pulled off. It's over for Weiten. What can Morpy do? And what can Albert Priem do? It doesn't look like anybody else is going to be able to challenge for pole at the moment, but a lot of people are still out on laps. Callum Lux off in the background there, and you can see him in the gravel trap. That's going to be session over for Callum Lux. Looked mega quick at the start, but it's only going to be P4 at best in this session. What can some of the other drivers do? Simone Bertoloni across the line currently sits P11, an invalid lap time, and it wouldn't have been quicker anyway. What can Luca Picardi do? Currently sits P14, currently outside of 105%, but I think Race Control are going to have to be a little bit more lenient given these conditions. And what is it for Luca Picardi? Not an improvement, well, an improvement, but an invalid improvement, but will get one more go at the lap. Alberto Casado, the checkered flag has now fallen. Casado is going to be next across the line. Sits P9 at the moment. Morpy is flying. It's 2 purples for Morpy. It's a yellow sector 1, but a purple sector 2 and a purple sector 3. Bosie has been given a pit lane start for that collision we saw a few laps ago. Casado pulls over. Will start P9. No better. Quinton Bosie still on a lap, but you know, that's not going to count, so we're not going to worry about that too much. Well, it will count, but it will be a pit lane start for Bosie. We'll potentially pick up a couple of points. These GTPs are eager to get out while it's still a little bit drier out on track.
Morpy's flying.
Daniel Morpy, purple, 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 purple. What can he do in Sector 5? Oh, and off the road was Ivan Veska. But Daniel's not going to slow Daniel Morpy down. Won't have had to lift for that. And Morpy flying down the main straight. He's got to improve, surely, assuming there's not been an invalidation somewhere. It's a 21.3. Daniel Morpy was 1.4 seconds on the field. He knew he had to take pole position, and he has thrown down a marker in this championship fight. Sanchez across the line. What can the BMW driver do? It was P5. It's P2 on the grid to put Albert Priem onto the second row alongside his teammate Matthias Weiten. Peter Prinzo will slot into P4 in the invitational entry. Robin van Bis... Sorry, it's a new name. I can't read it properly because it's all squished on my little screen. We'll go to, well, it was a little bit higher, but it's P9 now. Invitational entry there in the Ford. But these track conditions at the end of this session were brilliant. Albert Priem and Matthias Weiten will be kicking themselves that they went out at the end of that. Luca Picardi, remember, has a chance to improve. Just look how much drier it is out on track. The spray is still there, but the spray is an awful lot less. We've got a couple more drivers coming round. We'll not give you that cursed cockpit view. Trying to get a roll bar. There we go. And through the final corner, Luca Picardi, potential to improve there. A couple of yellows. But remember, that's versus his best sector, which he will have set on that invalid lap time, which was a 26.2 on the previous run when that was about a benchmark time. What can he do now? It's a 24.275. We'll put him up to P10. That is not a bad starting position for someone who was about to start last on the grid before that. Wow, what a qualifying session, especially at the end there with the drying track. Very, very close.
John picks up at the end, and yeah, Morpy does manage to keep the championship hopes alive with that qualifying effort. So we've got a race on our hands, certainly, but right now the flight of the Bumblebees has started for some reason. I'm trying to... Van der Wacker and...
David Van der Wacker off.
Oh, there he goes.
Those cold hypercar brakes.
was being chased by Quinton Verdonk, despite the fact that he probably just want as much space as he can
Lemray
get and has
goes off
company.
into the barrier, yeah. Keep your eye in this session, though, on Quinton Verdonk and on Samir Ashad in that four-wheel drive Ferrari. It is mega in the wet conditions.
Renex also had enough in turn 5. Probably another one of those challenging corners as well. Like, it's still very wet, and also, like, it's one of those where you have the small turn and turn 4, and then the actual braking zone. But I think you need to be braking like as you go through turn 4, realistically, which is not a thing you normally have to think about until you get to that point in the track. You're like, oh, wait a second.
Just missed it at the end of GT.
Here. I just want to see what his approach to Canada.
At the end of GT3, by the way, Albert Pre went up to P2 just 3 tenths off of that time that Morby did. So those two clear off the field qualifying session. Go on board with the Ferrari. Careful on the throttle. The donkey's having to eat.
Obviously, you do have the TC in these cars, which is quite good, but it has its limits. So you just need to be prepared to run the engine a little lower, and at some point, though, you will get enough aero to get the grip down, and you can start flying through into turn 1 at full speed. And how early do you brake here? Normally, you can carry a lot of speed into turn 1, significantly less. Obviously, and it has to miss the apex as well, just due to like there's a giant puddle there. Almost goes off the track on exit as well. Brakes in the middle of the corner here, just to try and find a non-road in line, and then high slide to the exit, because there's not a dry patch there, but you can see how wet the inside of the corner is. And there's the Grento Bridge in towards turn 5. Small flick straightens up turn 4 significantly, takes a bit more of the inside again, avoiding the rubbered line. You get slowed down if you can actually take the apex there, but you have to drive through that puddle on the exit. Brake before the hill here. Wash out a little bit, presumably. It does manage to keep it just about in bounds. Flick to the right, not too different from your normal line there for the 204. Again, offsets. From seeing the GT3s, I'd say you want to be on the outside of Horseshoe all the way around here. I think Verdonk's picked up on that. Takes that high end. Just carry a lot more speed around the corner. You're not trying to slow yourself down through the water. And it's how much speed do you want to carry through the kink. It's maybe a little smidge. No, just about gets away with it. Camera angle certainly doing Verdonk no favours. Charge towards Canada. Straightens it up again. Inside on the brakes. He's doing a very good job of keeping his car pointing forwards, and so far the fastest out of everybody. Has 4 purple sectors. 3 of them have been challenged, and 3 of them have been found wanting.
Be interesting to see what the warm-up is like on these tyres as well, whether the drivers can get straight at it a little bit more wet tyre on. But
I still think you want some amount of heat, but I've also had on my my feed a lot of cars spinning off and going into the barrier, so I think Verdonk is definitely taking advantage of the Ferrari's properties right now, shall we say. That you can just get out there and set a good lap, and I do expect that time to come down. I just don't expect it to come down as maybe as significantly as we've seen in previous sessions with these GTPs. Because I think even with warm tyres, you're still very limited by the track conditions, and they are improving, to be fair. So those the times might come down themselves, but if it stayed like this, I would maybe go down to 210.
Currently only 7 seconds quicker than the GT3s. Rain starting to come down again a little bit here. It lightened up at the end of that GT. Why we saw such drastic that time. It's starting to rain a little bit more now. In fact, we'll throw you up. Radar again.
Wow.
A little bit closer at the track. Through that yellow phase, potentially, I think, yellow for the whole of this session.
Potentially we might get towards the... Basically, once this passes, it's straight into dry territory. This rain does move fairly fast. And Samira Shadow's moved fairly fast off the track, unfortunately.
Let's take a
Hasn't managed
look.
to hit a barrier, but has just gone in a straight line off of turn 5.
What happened to the Ferrari driver? And I think this couple for
Oh,
Chad. And this is the most recent one.
yep. You can see the results, but not the incident.
Four. Might be able to go back a little bit. About 30 seconds prior, so this was one we saw a moment ago going off the road. What happens? We'll follow along down to 4 at the end of the straight.
Turn 4 is the small turn to the left, and then turn 5 is the actual
5 is
corner.
is the proper turn. Proper turn for
Yes. No, do not get me started on the corner numberings on this track.
Far too much speed into the corner. Tried to brake at the dry marker. Keeps it out the wall though,
No.
which is crucial. Carry on in this session.
That's the thing you can't do. You just have to sort of ease the car around here. As much as you might want to go full send, the fronts will just lock up on you, and at that point you're a passenger.
That
You want
has
to go
some
sailing off into
potential
distance.
here. No, they don't, because this is the same lap. Apologies. There is pace in the 46, though. At purple sector 1. There is some time in that car. Road again for Matteo Lemre as the Cadillac struggles to find the hits.
So much spray's being kicked up as well. If this track does dry up, it'll be fine. But if we get this level of spray in the race, it's going to be very terrifying to be driving in. Because like you're a hypercar, you catch up to a GT3 that's putting off like probably a little less spray than this, but not significantly less. You're just
Race
going to lose sight of
control.
all your markers, and yeah, you're in trouble.
Race Control touched on it in the briefing with some of the hypercar drivers about not trying to overtake in the kink. His briefing notes were written based on the dry session, so definitely going to have to be careful on that one today, and going to have to be careful everywhere, to be honest. There's not going to be a lot of grip offline. Well, online, perhaps.
There's no grip anywhere, let's be real. I think like you're going to have to take a lot of these GT3s via the straights, I think, just because like trying to offset lines through corners is going to be very dangerous and is a good way to probably end up with a windshield full of spray. And oh, Lemre holds on to it. How the hell did they manage that? Renek, not so fortunate.
Oh! But to it, let's take a look at what happened to Daniel. Aquaplaning down the straight. With a barrier.
And you can also see Verdonk just about holds on to it.
Teo, but it's not. This is a bit around the track. In, is it? Can't tell what straight we're on. Oh, we're a little bit early. Matteo is drifting sideways down the back straight. Samira Shad is flying at the moment, though. What to be for the Ferrari driver?
I'm glad to see all these drivers have their A licenses.
Shad P3, Daniel Renek and Quinta Verdonk have both reset to the pit lane as the rain has started to ease up a little bit here at Road America.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the track's still very wet and not very cooperative.
Next being off again. Turn 3. Got a clip of it, but goes off again a little further around the track.
No, that looks like the run is turn 3 again.
Teo Lemerey, well, you know the track's gripping up because the man that was struggling just a few moments ago has gone purple in Sector 1. Let's see what happens here. Just 3 minutes to go. Verdonk and Renek might struggle here with tyre temperatures. There's a big off for Samira Shad. Happened to the Ferrari.
Too much on the throttle. Yeah.
Going to be session over for a Shad. Flipping to Vaca flying. As is Lemerey. Both these drivers yet to
catching.
Both these drivers yet to set a competitive time as well. Renek off ahead again, and so is Lemerey.
Oh,
the purple Sector 1 is going to fade away because the bumper is gone on the Drakeem racing car. Let's have a look what happened to Daniel Renek. Caught the white line, caught the grass, and it's not going to turn if you do that. And let's take another look at what happened to Lemerey.
In that session over, they have no chance of getting around in time, I don't think.
They're still in the pit lane. Everyone else still out on track, though. Quinton Verdonk has just thrown down a purple Sector 2, currently on pole position by 2.4 seconds, and is looking to go even further. But Davy van der Vacker is going to have something to say about that with that purple Sector 2. Mira Shad is off at turn 5 on the outlap, trying to get round to have another go, and has gone deep. Not get around in time now, I don't believe.
No.
Quinton struggling a little bit more now, whereas Davy still going strong. That distinctive green light on the front of that BMW.
Just remember, though, Verdonk has a 2.5 call it second lead over everybody, so struggling might be, you know, there's only so much Verdonk needs to struggle to not lose pole position here. Like, Van der Vacker needs to pull something miraculous out to take pole position away, but can still probably at least move into the realms of getting with a Shad's currently 7 seconds off the pace, based on the actual time lapse.
About right conditions, right time, though. Options like this.
Also,
struggling in Sector 4, actually. Quickest in Sector 5 of anyone.
Ooh. I'd like to formally apologise as well, because I thought these lap times were going to come down. No, that Verdonk 2:14 has stood the test of time. We're going to have the checkered flag in 15 seconds, and I think Van der Vacker is the only one who's really able to challenge it so far, and this is his best shot.
It's pole for Davy van der Vacker, 7/10 ahead of the previous provisional pole sitter. That is checkered flag. Nobody else is going to be able to set a lap time, I believe, because Daniel Renek has been off on this flying lap. And oh no, I'll tell you what, tell a lie, Quinton Verdonk is still going, and it's purple in Sector 1 for Quinton Verdonk.
This might be the lap we were all, or at least I was anticipating.
Purple in Sector 2 as well. Davy is carrying on though. I believe made it to the line in time. And Davy has gone purple in Sector 2 and has stolen that purple Sector 2 from Quinton Verdonk. So these two are still going to go at it. The Sector 1 time, half a tenth quicker for Quinton Verdonk. The Sector 2 time, a tenth quicker for Davy van der Vacker. Let's see what it is in Sector 3 when these two come through.
Weird stuff going on with Daniel Renek, not sure what's going on there. But now Van der Vacker with a lot more pace.
Autumn's quicker in Sector 3. Oh, a little bit of a slip on there for Quinton Verdonk down the straight, but keeps it pointed in the right line, in the straight line, sorry, but it's yellow in Sector 4 for Verdonk, who's going to have to really push in this final stage of the lap if they want to take pole position back away from Davy van der Vacker in the BMW. Surprising to see the BMW challenging the Ferrari in these conditions, but Verdonk is still struggling. It's not a purple Sector 4 It's only green. What can Van der Wacker do, who currently holds the purple sector 5, sorry, not 4, on his previous lap, but it's yellow for Van der Wacker as well, because the rain must be increasing a little bit in that final sector across the line for Quinten Verdonk. Can he take it away on this lap? No, he can't, and it was invalidated anyway, so Davy Van der Wacker will start from pole position, but can he go any quicker at the end of this lap to throw some dominance down? It was a 2:13.315 before, and it's a 2:12.225 this time round. 1.8 seconds at the end of the session, just like what we saw in GT3. Going to get a fight in GTP, I think, today with the conditions and the drivers going at it.
13.998 for Verdonk on that last lap wouldn't have been enough anyway. But my God, what a run from Van der Wacker at the end of the session to snipe away that pole. And we'll have the run of the field going into turn 1 in these conditions. Yeah, I want to be out of the way of everybody as fast as possible, actually. I'll take that, thank you very much.
Run you through the full results when we have them on screen. It'd be lovely if Race Control took some time to update the spreadsheet that they sent me that has the live standings on with those qualifying points. They just sent.
This is the problem. Sometimes
Daniel Morphy sent a message in the chat. I think Andy's put the message and I want him to put some points in for us. It's for the viewers, Andy. It's for the viewers. An ace black flag has been.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about. I should re-enable radio so I can tell when Andy yells at me.
Take a look at the results. Daniel Morphy takes pole position in GT3. Red Eagle Racing ahead of the DLR Albert Preem. Sergio Sanchez will start P3 for Go Esports. Then it's a triple DLR with Pete Preems, Vincent van der Moerbrucker and Matthias Weiss. And Callum Lux will start P7. That's been start of the session, but facing some problems in the latter half. Then Groeneveld will start P8 ahead of Insbergen. I'll get there eventually. It just takes a couple of goes to get used to names. Luca Picardi in P10, Alberto Casado in P11, Quinton Bosey, Melvin Gack for Drakeem Racing Team, and P13, Italy, Vesco in 14th and 15th. In GTP, pole position was taken by Dave Van der Wacker by a dominant 1.8 seconds ahead of Quinten Verdonk, who struggled on the final lap. Then Daniel Renexter will start P3 ahead of Samir Ashad and Hale Lemray. Also just meant Elvin Gack start from the lane in He's out too much though. The drivers are going to be pretty spaced out around a long track like this, so GT3 will be a long way behind GTP. Be able to slot it nicely at the end of the GT3 pack. You would. From Race Control for it.
If Race Control is sending us nonsense, I'm going to be mad.
Play with the points or when the race has started, says Andy, and I'm sure he's getting ready to hop on the radio any moment now and interrupt whatever we are speaking about at that moment in time.
Oh, we've just had a sport enter. Luca Picardi just got drove in on at full speed.
Picardi off track.
Just stay with this. You'll just trust me.
They're going to be a bounce off the barrier.
And it's not like that.
Okay. The hypercar thought, it's all right. I'll go on the grass and I'll slide back onto the track, not expecting a GT3 to be staring him.
Yeah, the track got a dose of red rain during the break between qualifying and the warm-up session, so nice, freshly wetted track. And
nice and wet on the surface, but doesn't look too... There's too much rain acting down onto the track.
The patch of red has me worried. could see on the
Yeah,
radar.
we're about to hit a big bit, aren't we? But I think if we zoom back out, now we've got this back on stream, it's to me like we're going to clear up after this, potentially.
Just the start is going to be fun for all involved.
The safety car start. Andy or Amy, either of you ready to jump in to,
Right.
to
As
the
you'll
car?
quickly reminder,
Oh, there
the
they
race
are.
does not start on the green flag. The racing starts when your class leader goes within the allocated start zone. We ask that the GT3 pole sitter, so that is Daniel today, to leave between a 20 and a 25-second gap to the hypercar field. And finally, we ask that both pole sitters, so Daniel and Davey, activate the pit limiter from the I believe it's the apex again. Around the final corner, and stick the pit limiter on until you get to the start zone, and then decide to go. Now, aside from that, all the rest is for me to remind you that this is a 90-minute race. You have a fast repair if need be, and I hope you will enjoy.
Andy Tapman there, telling racers to enjoy the hellscape that has been created for them. I think he might be a sicko, and I'm here for it.
Season 8 now. End of Season 8. End of Season 10, sorry.
10.
8 rounds a season. That means we've done 80 rounds, I think. Or less. Might have had 1 or 2 that were a little bit longer, and we will add rounds where we've had GT3 one separate round. But I don't remember if Andy's been race director for all seasons. Just trying to remember, because otherwise that means we probably hit about 80 times that Andy's interrupted us. It has been Amy once or twice, but 80 times interrupted by race control.
It's better when Amy does it. Anyway. So...
Right, have we missed that big patch? Get that radar
We've
back
gone
up.
straight through the red before this race. And now it's gone...
I'm looking at the pit lane from this angle that we've got on broadcast. It looks pretty wet in the pit lane.
But the rain has mostly passed. There is a small patch in front still. However, track conditions will improve. They're just going to be awful at the start. Full pace lap here. Much as I think this would be a very funny standing start, I think it's probably best if we do have the full formation lap, which means we have to ramble for another 5 minutes.
Got a lot to talk about. We're going to go over some championship standings. We've not got the points in there just yet, but we'll run down quickly. Luca Picardi currently sits 104 points ahead of Ivan Veska. Ended a little bit in qualifying, but the drop round for Vesga is 312 points. Luca Picardi's lowest. Luca Picardi's drop rounds are 1 of 0 and 1 of 20. So if Luca Picardi has a non-point scoring round today, it could affect him a lot more than a low point scoring round than one for Ivan Veska. He's also only 18 Ben Gronevel's drivers really in that fight at the front, but Ben Gronevel does not have a drop round to play with, and showing Ben is yes they are. Ben starts on pole position. Eye on Ben. Problems with the other 2 drivers. There is potential here. Ben to scoot up the order and take the championship. Simone Bertoloni sits in P4 ahead of Anthony Caranta, Quinton Bosey, Team Scholten, and a couple more drivers down. But that's going to be your prize winners at the end of this race. GT3 Pro, Matthias Weiten currently leads the championship by, just trying to do some quick maths in my head, 29 points. Sorry, that's not true. It's 21 points. No, 41 points. We'll get there eventually. It's been a very long day. 41 points ahead of Daniel Morphy. Daniel Morphy is at a 0 drop round. Matthias Weiten has a drop round to play with. That's why he needed to take pole position. Still had a chance in this fight. He'd need to score the full points. So there is a chance for Daniel Morphy to that title. Kiko Lacaille sits a little bit further behind, and I don't believe is present today, unfortunately for Kiko. and Sergio Sanchez only 25 points behind Kiko in GT Pro. Could easily jump up to P3 after today's racing. Callum Lux sits in P5. Want a little bit more than P5, I think, after the...
Oh, a shot spun. And that's a rear tap. That's probably damage.
Take a look.
No, that rear is damaged. That rear is damaged.
Shad has found the barrier. Oh, almost hit by Matteo
What
Lemire.
the fuck? I looked away for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. And this happens. You know how I've been going slowly more and more insane? Just been going slowly more insane as we've been going through this season. I think this is the race where I truly go insane, because what the hell did I just witness?
Stanway Race Control won't be happy about that. Right, Callum Lux will be looking to move up from P5. Then goes Dominic Knockel, Alberto Casado, Jose Carlos Villarejo, Michael Kalmberger, and Alex Ott. They're your top 10 in 3. GTP, Quinton Verdonk leads the championship, and I believe has pretty much got it tied up ahead of Samir Shard, David van der Backer, Kevin Verzandvoort, Matteo Lemre, Brody Maynard, Daniel Renette, Ricardo Riva, Jack Reeve, Casper Hu. And that's all we're going to do. We're getting ready to go green here at Road America.
Suspension damage. Are you going into pit lane or are you going staying out?
I cannot go in the pit anyways, red.
We can clear any black flag you get. If you need to pit for damage, pit for damage.
Race Control, they're communicating with Samir Shad, telling him if there's damage on the car, you can pit and you can fix it. We will not penalise you. We'll clear any black flags. Ivan Vesca's had a moment at the back of GT3. What's gone wrong
field
here?
Got stacked up again. I'm not sure why. I think they might just be trying to build a gap.
Side ahead. Go wrong for Ivan Vesca here.
Probably just gets checked up too much because you can see they're piling up a little bit in front.
I think it might just be that he's come to a complete stop and that's what's has crashed.
I don't like the way the GT3s have been pacing in the last 2 races, but this one doesn't seem as egregious as some of the ones I've seen, so I'm willing to let this one slide because there's more to be concerned about with this pace lap.
Right. Samir Shad is going to dive to the pit lane to fix the suspension damage on that Ferrari. That's going to be a tough one to take for Samir. You can try something a little bit different with the 90-minute round that we've got here today at IMSA Racing for season finale. And David van der Backer is gone, and he's gone early. Quinton Verdonk, though, has got a mega start around the outside in that Ferrari. That four-wheel drive really working well off the start. Can Davey defend it on the inside? Remember, the Ferrari, good in a straight line, good on acceleration, not so good on the brakes. And Davey van der Backer will retain the lead. It's a meatball flag for Samir Shad. That's why he's going to have to jump to the pit lane so early, and will do. The Ferrari cannot get past, but he's going to have another go into turn 3. Can't get it done. Matteo Lemre sits P4, Daniel Renek in P3. GT3s are getting ready to go. We're going to watch this until the last moment. I'm watching it on my other monitor, so I'll tell you when they go and we'll jump to them. And Dave van der Backer is going to be able to defend down into the next straight. And we're green in GT3. Daniel Morphy with a good start there to get away and pull ahead of the Ford Mustang on the inside of Albert P. Pete Preens in P3. Quinton Verdonk has taken the lead in GTP.
Oh,
jump to that. Samir Shad is out of the pit lane for his repair. Nearly gets wiped out by the Mustang that's going to go bowling down the inside. That's Matthias Weitzen, who spins off the gravel and somehow hits no other cars.
Come on, guys, check this one. This is unacceptable, this.
Matthias Weitzen saying it's unacceptable. I think he's not happy about the driver exiting the pit lane, understandably.
That is... I'm not sure that was actually because of Weitzen. I'm going to be... Ashad, excuse me. I think he was present and was a problem, but I think that might just be a separate issue to whatever the hell happened.
This is when...
Verdonk.
This is how Quinton Verdonk challenged for the lead. Did not keep it in the end, though. So Verdonk on the outside and on the inside, and there was a hip check there. Side by side between Dave van der Backer and Quinton Verdonk. And they're going to keep going at it up to the next corner, but Dave van der Backer is going to get ahead and slot fully ahead of the Ferrari. And we've got a spinner in GT3. It's Pete Preens, who started so well. Started in P4, I believe, and has got damage on the rear end of that McLaren.
It's all going wrong here in this early going.
Matteo Lemre's been off as well. Matteo's been off a couple of times this lap and has dropped a little bit further back from Daniel Renek, who he was trying to chase and challenge Off through the gravel, but keeps
Oh,
it
okay.
pointing in the right direction. That's what's important here. Matteo has a chance at a podium here today in GT3, but now already 17 seconds off of the race lead, and the race leaders are absolutely flying. David van der Vacker and Dan and Quinten Verdonk are absolutely rapid today.
You know where the lead of the race is going to be decided right now. I'm just lining up this GT3 Pete Preens with a little bit of a bump shot there. I'm not sure if they actually made contact. Hard to tell through the camera angle, but there's just so much
Samir
spray.
Rashad has found the wall
no.
again. What happened to Samir? Under brakes, we've seen him go wrong here in qualifying. And just too much speed again. And once you lock up in these GTPs, so hard to get it pointing the right way again. Callum Lux has been off. What's happened to Callum? Was there contact there? That's really hard to see. Let's go back a little bit further. Here we are, down the back straight into Canada corner. Callum looks ahead. No, just locks the rear axle, carrying too much speed. And is off into the gravel trap, but keeps going, crucially, once again. Daniel Morphy pulling away out front 1 second ahead. Championship rival Matthias Weiten down in P9 and into the pit lane.
Had damage from that initial pile-up on that first lap, not surprising he'll be taking the early pits.
Daniel Morphy will be loving this. This is a chance for Daniel Morphy in the championship. This is what he needed to go wrong for his rival, who's into the pits early. Will need to take damage and fuel and fuel in this pit stop. And you know what? He's not going to be able. He's still going to have to do the same number of stops from this point onwards as the rest of the field. There's going to be an awful long way down the order. We are out of the rain now, very nearly, and that's going to be it for today's session in terms of bad weather.
But
Oh, and it's a big pack up here.
Pair, but this is where it gets dangerous. Looks, be very careful. You probably have the pace to get through here, but you need to just make sure you aren't
Side
tripping
by
over
side
people.
ahead of Callum Lux.
No, that is Callum Lux is just trying to barrel his way through. He goes around the outside of turn 7. Trying to switch back across, gets to the inside again. Callum Lux is slicing and dicing right now. From bumper damage, but still a lot of pace in that McLaren.
McLaren is absolutely fine. Let's go. Let's not go that on board. Let's go this on board. Callum Lux flying through the big bend. And will now try and get a run down into Canada corner, gets a handful of oversteer at the apex, cannot see a thing, so he pulls out of the toe of the DLR car of Ben Gronebel and is back up into P5 for Callum Lux, who is looking mega in this race and will surely challenge for a podium. It's a big gap in front of Luca Picardi, though.
But still, like, Lux has consistently shown pace. I believe that gap can come down. Obviously, with one car in front of Picardi, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, and at this point, Morphy, Prime, Sanchez all pulling away a little bit now. As, Simone Bertolini spins into the barrier.
It finds a barrier. Take a look. I think there was probably contact, given how close these cars were racing.
I think this might have just been self-inflicted. Trying to go
Finds
around
a wide
someone,
line and too far off the track. Happened. Bertolini still running, but has lost an awful lot of time. Pete Preens is in the pit lane.
Fortunately, the long camera shot here.
Not sure why Peter's in the pit lane. Just trying to find anything on the log, and here it is. It hasn't found the barrier.
Might find it here. No?
With a bumper already missing on that car.
Weird.
Potentially because of this. Oh, already missing here.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it fell off on the start.
Yeah.
There.
Let's get a full view of this lap one. So here's the rejoin from Ashad. That just why just Preens gets on the brakes?
Let's take another look at this because Matthias Weiten is going to get it back into the back, or someone gets into the back of Matthias. I'm not sure who that was. Was that Callum Lux on the start? Yeah, that would be why Callum has the damage. No, it's Verdonk. Verdonk with damage from P2. He's got a meatball flag. What has happened to the race leader?
What is going on?
We've missed a couple of things here. Vincent van der Moelenbroeke, first of all, has found the wall.
I think this is going to be self-inflicted. He probably gets unsighted by the cars in front of him, loses his braking
What about that
spot.
start?
Still being, we're still on it, don't worry, I haven't forgotten.
Yeah, there you go, into the wall.
Yeah.
Already got
And the
Quinton
tag on those
Verdonk entering
barriers is
the pit
actually
lane
quite
here, so-
lethal. Whoa, okay.
Well, this is what happened to Davey, but when Quinton seemingly has followed Davey off here.
I would agree with that assessment.
The
I
race
think one of them
leaders
just a
trying to
little bit worse
outbrake
than the
each
other.
other are so far ahead of the rest of the field. What? Wow, that was interesting. Both of them finding a barrier. Very lucky that they both got the lead that they have. Ben Groneveld and Melvin Gak are battling it out, by the way. This is how Melvin Gak got past Groneveld. On the brakes,
That
deep
is
on the brakes, an
insane
awful lot of
behaviour.
speed, and no way he's kept it on the road. Yes, he has in the Audi. Melvin Gak for Drakeem Racing Team. What a move in the wet conditions. Daniel Renek, well, was 3 seconds behind the leader at the start of his lap. He's now 5 seconds behind the leader. Dave Vandermacker, despite finding the barrier briefly, is flying. Quinton Verdonk, though, had to take to the pit lane for repairs, unfortunately. Vincent van der Moelenbroeke is out of this race after damage. Matteo Lemire is absolutely flying right now. Despite being 9 seconds off the lead, has just set the purple sector 1, and the rest of the sector times are not bad. Matteo is pushing here. He's seen there's mistakes from the drivers ahead, but doesn't want to push too much, otherwise he'll end up in the wall. Van
It
Bisbergen.
is a mess right now.
Van Bisbergen in the invitational entry. That's what the little INV is before that name. Trying to challenge Ivan Vesga here. Daniel Morphy still leads, by the way. Matthias Weiten down in P12.
Also, Vincent van der Moelenbroeke has been put under investigation by race control. Not sure what for, but also has just teleported out of existence from the.
We've had a Matthias onboard request, I've been told, so we're going to try and find that for you from the race start.
I think what's going to be is Weiten's just going to get checked up and explode because I think it was Preen slowed down in front. I know Preen slowed down and then Weiten slowed down, and Melvin Gak is backwards on the track and has just tagged a car. We've got another replay to get to here.
Please look at that, please.
So this is the Ashad's.
No, sorry, just trying to find. Oh, this is too early. I'm trying to find the.
This was also bad, but for
green
separate reasons.
Flag replay. There's too much going on. Yes, it is.
Yes. So Weiten gets squeezed, pulls in line, has no visibility of anything at this point. Car in front of him brakes, gets tagged in the rear, and like, yeah, like, I don't know what Weiten was meant to do there. Like here's the punt cam.
I mean, he did an incredible job to not hit anybody through turn 1. Oh, there was
Rather
much the
fortunate.
driver
I
could
don't
do
think
to
he had
control.
much control over it.
Side by
Van
side,
Bisbergen.
Van Bisbergen and Ivan Vesga battling it out. Van Bisbergen trying to get ahead. Daniel Morphy's dropped down to P3, by the way. We're going to discuss that in a moment, and is still tumbling down the order. We're going to try and find out what happened. And here it is. This is what happened to Daniel Morphy through turn 1. It's going to make a mistake into turn 3, I fear. Too much speed and whoa, goes for a spin. No barrier, though.
Lazy spin. But also you've got no speed now and just about gets out of the way. Do you have a replay of the Melvin Gak Ben Groneveld incident as well?
Sure, I will.
'Cause
Is it this one?
that was a big wreck.
We're already gone wrong.
Yeah,
here.
that's
Here we go.
that's the result of it. As Gak just gets a lazy spin at some point. This is through the horseshoe. It just loses on exit there. Brakes not working too well in these mixed conditions. Ends up backwards on the track. And yeah, just a rather unfortunate chain of events that ends up with Groneveld losing the bumper, and that's back under investigation. Thanks, race control.
Daniel Renek in the pit lane with a meatball.
It's all kicking off.
I think this is where Daniel Renek has picked up that meatball. That's all I can see on his log. Can't be it. 'cause
Ben, I'm being told that Gak was braking there, but he rolled back because ABS failed. So he was holding his brakes there.
that can't be.
I agree with race control's assessment. As we still on board with Renek, who's yet to get a meatball, I will say.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find what it is, and I can't really see anything. This is what I looked at, unless the damage was from... damage
That
from
looks
there.
more like a meatball, yeah.
And that probably explains why he went straight on at the next corner. Has come in and done the fast repair and spins on pit exit. Daniel Renek bothers the barrier on pit exit.
Oh no!
And is gonna try and get that car spun round, but so little grip on the grass. The nose looks in surprisingly good condition on the BMW.
What have we done?
We are in a position. Matteo Lemre is not only fighting for a podium, he currently runs P2 in this race. We've lost Samira Shad entirely, unfortunately, in this race. 4 drivers remain in GT3, and Matteo Lemre is one of them. Daniel Renek back in the pit lane.
Race is carnage.
What's happened to Daniel?
I suspect after the spin, Renek hit the wall there. Like, he's got damage on the fronts.
Yeah, big suspension damage, look.
And he's going to hit the wall again at speed. Bang, car gone. Goodbye.
Tyres up on screen. Anybody's going to be trying to switch off yet? Oh, yep, Daniel Renek tried to switch off. Yep, that's what happened. I thought
That would
might be
explain
what
a lot,
happened.
actually.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is iRacing. The track needs a 90-minute race to maybe dry, as we found out several times.
Ivan Vesga and Van Bisbergen still battling it out here.
Oh, Morpy, huge into the wall.
The championship contender has found the barrier at the kink. That was a proper Joseph Newgarden on the curb, clubbers the wall sideways, and carries on.
Oh. No, you can't be carrying on, though.
Van Bisbergen
that is a
going for
huge
the
whack.
move, sorry to interrupt, into the kink on the inside. Oh, side by side, they're going to try and hang it out in the GT3s, the Mustang and the Mercedes going side by side.
Still there.
Still
Vesga
there,
maybe
down
fight
into
this out
Canada
around the
corner.
outside.
He's gonna get best on the brakes here. Daniel Morphy is carrying on, by the way. He's still going. And I believe we have now lost the 4th GTP car, from this race. Daniel Renek.
Yep.
No longer running, so
retires.
Matteo Lemre in proper contention here for a podium. Just needs to hit that 80% race distance. Looks has been given a 15-second time penalty. That's for that collision on lap 1 with Matthias Vuyten. Simone Bertoloni has crashed as well. What's happened to the driver from DSP Esports Racing Team?
This looks like a cell spin lazy into the inside wall. No, tries to counter steer it.
Saves the car. Rather impressively, to be honest. Matteo Lemre has also been off, but has kept it out the wall, as far as I can tell.
Huge wall mid-corner. Good job of saving that one.
Vincent Verdonk is chasing after Matteo, just 1.8 seconds behind now. Matteo won't fight out too much, you wouldn't have thought, once the two drivers get close to each other.
Oh, we're actually seeing some multi-class driving. I forgot this is a multi-class race.
Daniel Morphy has passed Albert Preem because Albert Preem is off in the barrier, or in the gravel.
Position.
What happened
By
to
attrition.
Albert Preem?
I mean, I'm guessing he just misses the braking zone a little bit,
Oh,
gets in the
locks
water
up the rear
on the
a little
entry,
bit,
and
yeah.
This track isn't dry, it's still very much wet, even if the sun's out.
Well, that puts Morphy back up to P2, but Vuyten now up to P9. That's P6 in class, remember. We're looking at the overall standings in
Lemre
GT3.
Is going to be fine.
Spray is a lot less here, though. It is going to start to dry up now. still an hour and 10 minutes to go in today's race. I think we are going to get
There's
to
an hour
dries
and 10
today.
minutes left of this. Yeah, to be fair, the worst of the rain has passed, and the attrition has been a little bit aggressive. We've only lost a few cars. We have lost 2 out of 5 GTPs, so we are feeling it a little bit.
I've been told Matthias Weiter needs to get to P5. Or maybe even P4 to completely secure the championship on his own. If Morphy wins, I think 6 won't be good enough for Matthias Weiter, which is where he currently runs. He's currently stuck behind Melvin Gatt, which is costing him crucial time to the cars ahead. Quinton Vidocq now running P2 once again, by the way, 27 seconds behind the race leader.
Yeah, then we had enough. I will say Morphy has actually slowly caught up to Sanchez, now getting down to 3-second gap, so Morphy could just retake the lead of this race. Presumably he was going to use the fast repair to when on normal service, basically, if the car's not too damaged. I'm surprised that was a hard hit for Morphy into the wall, but obviously still going as Gak holds the outside of Viton. Finished him down to the apex, but fair racing so far, but they just hold Viton behind. Even if it's just for now, because I don't think Gak can hold off Viton forever, but could certainly hold him off for a few corners, slow down significantly, and let Morphy drive off into the sun, as it were. Here's a GTP behind him.
Race Control could confirm to me what class Binsbergen is running in.
Oh,
contact in
We've got
GT3!
drama.
That's not what Matthias needed. He could be penalised for it. We'll take a look and see what Race Control think. But that could be costly for Matthias Weiter. Can someone please confirm from Race Control what class Binsbergen is running in? I believe he's in Pro for points.
I think he might be at no point scoring if he's invitational.
We find out Race Control, because
yeah.
that's going to matter in the championship, big time. The investigation, let's take a look at what happened between the GT3 drivers. Remember, the AM drivers are allowed to fight with the pros. Quinton Vidocq has just arrived on the scene with an awful lot of speed, but has quite smartly backed off here.
Like, fair play from the GTP here, but like...
Oh, Matthias lost it on the brakes.
No, that's a slam dunk penalty. I'm sorry, Viton. That is, you can't be doing that.
There's going to be a penalty coming Matthias's way. Fortunately for him, sits a long way ahead of Pete Preens, but it is really going to hinder his progress on trying to catch up to the cars ahead. Invitational is not for points. Race Control have just confirmed.
So he is 1, 2, 3, 4. Viton is 5th in Pro.
Viton actually runs 5th in Pro. I know we got him showing it, Binsbergen showing in Pro, but Viton actually runs 5th in Pro. I think he needs to get to 4th to confirm it on his own. If Morphy wins the race, 5th will not be good enough for Viton, my understanding. It's really going to come down to the wire here. Remember, Morphy was on pole. He led until he made a mistake. Currently sits 2.5 seconds behind Sanchez. There's a long way to go in this race. But Viton currently sits 40 seconds behind Callum Lux in P4 and has surely got I would imagine, a 5, probably 10-second penalty coming his way.
Definitely has something that's going to be more and more stuff adding up.
Sado has found the wall. Gentle onto the brakes. Catches the puddle on the curb.
Inside, yeah.
Power down on the puddle.
Doesn't find the wall, but the car will loop and doesn't get punted, but we'll just have to drive off. Oh, car off.
On number 19.
So that's what that investigation was for. There was a random investigation for Vincent van der Mulbrook earlier that I couldn't see what it was for. Has retired.
That will have been was it put on as a 0x by Race Control, which always means it's impossible to go back and find what it was. It's an unsafe rejoin van der Mulbrook, but currently out of the race anyway.
Morpy
Fastest lap time
just
for Daniel
staying.
Morphy.
Oh,
Fastest
he's
lap of
staying
the race.
close to Sanchez, but can't quite. Like, you need to be. Well, to be fair, he's got a long race to go. He can afford to wait to close up to Sanchez, Cachafiero, but it's certainly a long day here. We're only 22 minutes. This is a 90-minute race, and we're only 22 minutes into it. Maybe going insane is an option.
Daniel Morphy flying out front into the pit lane. There is Ivan Vesga for the first pit stop of the race, where I can't see a valid reason for it. So this
is on schedule. It's 22 minutes in.
Yes,
this is normal.
Sorry, that's what I mean. There's no obvious damage to the car. I think this is a proper stop. What tyres? Surely it's got to be another set of wets at this point, or just I think probably keep the same set of wets on.
I like the same set of wets here. I don't know what tyre value is. Ooh, Casado and trying to see who that is. Van Binsbergen. I don't know if they got together there, but they both had an off at the same point.
Stays down on the ground, doesn't go up on the jacks, and there is going to be contact here, I think. Nope, they both just went off on their own. The GTP disturbing them a little bit. Yeah, and they're all good. They're all carrying on. So not onto the jacks for Vesga. So Vesga will keep the same set of wets on for the second stint in this race.
I like that. The GT3 tyres can take a bit of a beating, and
Casado off in the grass.
I think this might just be a sad corner. Uphill, hard braking zone. I've done this in the dry plenty of times, and does a good job of staying out of everyone's way as well. Honestly, great driving from Casado. No notes.
Melvin Gack driving the Audi, only Audi driver this season. I think the Audi is getting essentially retired from iRacing's IMSA series next season, unfortunately, in favour of the Martin. At least Aston Martin out on track in the Ansel Racing IMSA Series 11. We're back for another season. Go ahead and watch the trailer on the YouTube channel and head over to the Discord or the website for more information. Give you a little bit of a spoiler. We're going to be running LMP2 again to try and liven up the prototype classes a little bit. That's going to be great to see. Into the pit lane from the lead is Sergio Sanchez. Albert Preem going to follow him in. Daniel Morphy and Callum Lux stay out for another lap. We've seen Daniel Morphy do this before to take the win at the Nürburgring, remember, when he stayed out. I think it was 2 laps longer than Albert Preem that round, or Matthias Weiten, one of the two. Matthias Weiten, I believe, actually, who we overcut in that race at the Nürburgring. So trying to do the same thing here. Remember, the longer you go on a fuel tank, the shorter your next stop has to be, or essentially the shorter your final stop will have to be in this long race. You can head over to the link that has just been posted in the YouTube channel if you're interested in joining us for next season. Head over there, or if you want to have a chat with one of our staff members, head over to the Discord, open a support ticket, which drop a message in the iRace chat, and we will answer any questions that you have. Waiting for Sanchez to go through the second sector so we can see what the lap times are like, but crucially all of these drivers staying on the wets. It's not dry enough yet for a slick tyre.
So much spray right now. Like, you need to be basically no spray before I would really want tries, especially in a race like this where there's been a fairly decent attrition rate. Just make sure you get to the end of this race. Just, like, keep the wets on a little bit longer if you need to. It's fine.
Luca Picardi and Melvin Gack both in this lap.
Just get to the dries when you know it's safe.
It's a difficult decision for someone like Daniel Morphy in this race. You've got to say, he runs P2, but what he really needs is to be running P1. So do you take a gamble at some point, or do you wait for someone else to take a gamble and it go wrong? But he's not going to have to wait for someone else to take a gamble, because Sergio Sanchez Cachafiero has made a mistake on his outlap, and how costly is it going to be? We're going to see. I think we're going to be down into the next corner. It looks to me like he was off track for about 7 seconds, according to my tracker. And this is going to cost Sanchez the lead in GT3 Pro and hand the lead back to Daniel Morphy. And that is a costly mistake. It's not like we've seen other drivers have a half spin and be pointing in the right direction. Sanchez ending up in the wrong direction and will have to try and make up and get back into the lead. Daniel Morphy and Callum Lux both in this time by. Not surprising to see Daniel Morphy in after the mistake for his rival.
Yeah, at this point, you're bolty on wets. You're waiting until you know the dries are good. And I don't mean fast, I mean good. You want safe and secure. You have a good lead here. You can't control the finishing position of Tis Viten, who's going to be your main rival. Just make sure you can end this race in first place. And currently, like, no one's been, like, Cachafiera's been able to challenge, but has had that unfortunate incident that's put him behind. So now it's just Morpy has control of this race, needs to just maintain control of this race.
Morpy back out on track. Sanchez just coming down and past the pit exit now. Will stay ahead of Callum Lux, but he's now behind Viten, Preem and Morpy. But Viten not pitted yet. Remember, he had to make an emergency pit stop earlier in the race and he's now directly behind his championship rival, so this could get spicy. GTPs have all made one pit stop, but Quinton Verdon coming in for emergency service a few laps into the race. Will pushing on for a few more laps at least. Van Bisbergen into the pit lane, the invitational.
I don't know how aware Morpy is of the situation, but you definitely be wanting to hold up Viten as much as possible here. Because if you slow Viten down, you put him into the clutches of the rest of the field, which is where you really need him. Obviously, you need to maintain control of the race in P1 as well, but
Race
definitely
control
full defensive here.
Will also be well aware of what's going on. They are monitoring this. You don't want to crash into your championship rival in any way that could be seen as intentional when you know what the situation is. Matteo Lemire has been off. Mercedes Viten, a 10-second time penalty for causing a collision. That was earlier on. That was expected. I think Matteo is just going to go off at turn 5 as we see drivers do today. Oh, and goes for a spin as well. Albert Preem's been off as well.
Maybe just trying to carry too much speed. Just dips his wheels in the grass. At that point, you just get spat out.
We'll be trying to pressurise it in your least favourite driving style. We've seen these two go at it before. Don't like the pressuring tactics, but I think Matthias is going to lay it on heavy for these couple of laps that they're going to be next.
I don't mind it a few times. Like, if you can like try and force your rival into a mistake, fair enough. But like once they've shown a couple of times that no, I'm just going to hold the apex and you're not going to do anything about it. At some point, you have to realise you're not going to get anything done.
And that was all.
Just choosing to concede early.
Yeah, that was all the fuel tank had in it. Alice will live to breathe for another few laps before it gets spicy again.
Just
into the pit
the
lane
constant descends into that Nürburgring turn 1, which is just a parking lot. You can't dive bomb there. I'm sorry.
Now, if race control could confirm for us, maybe just put the sector times that we're looking for in. Sorry, not the sector times. The points as they run into the editing sheets for the.
That's got no implications at all. Melvin Gack has exploded. Well, it has. It
As
has
we see a
implications for
door
Melvin
from the car,
Gack's
he's trying
race.
to rev up the rear.
I appreciate the attempt, Melvin, but at some point you have to realise you're not going anywhere in that car. Please tow.
Big hit into the wall for Melvin Gack.
Yeah. If we have ASR merch at any point, I feel like, Bozy with a lazy spin.
Sanchez nearly losing the brakes as we cut to live images.
He's going to get mobbed by everyone trying to get around. Bozy just not having a great time of it right now. So we go on board with Cachafiero. Track looking drier, spray not as high, but still very much a wet track right now.
Sanchez pushing on. He's closing that gap to Daniel Morpy just a little bit.
I think they're pretty even on terms of pace recently. There might be a small ebb and flow in either direction, just on the way the track is, but wait for lap times to come through.
see Andy
Ooh,
doing the numbers.
never mind. 1 second faster for Sanchez last lap.
Wow, and Morpie's slower than Preem as well, so I wonder if Morpie is just getting back in the rhythm a little bit after that pit stop. Matthias Weissen runs P6 now, which is worse off than we actually thought he was. He's still ahead of Bisbergen and currently runs P6. So needs to get to P4,
Preens is in the pit lane, though.
Yes.
I think.
That's probably it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But has made it to 30 minutes. The other drivers did not make it to 30 minutes.
Is that Preens?
Oh, contact! Did I? Yes, there was contact there. Ben Groneveld, I think. Unless he just spun off on his own. Let's take a look. Oh, there was contact. Wow.
No, that's...
Why was Groneveld going so
I...
slowly? Very bizarre.
Now that is a different question.
Does Cacciafiero have damage? That front of that BMW looks okay to me.
So while that's happening,
So
I think I saw a black flag for Melvin Gack as well.
As the drivers run right now, that's Matthias Weissen and Daniel Morpie. Well, I'll tell you Morpie first. Morpie would come out on 2,228 season. Matthias Weissen would come out on 2,220 point season.
Oh God!
So it would go on countback. Race control, can we get a countback, please?
Race control, fuck off. I don't know if that's...
Still a long way to go in this race. So remember, Matthias has that 10-second time penalty to serve, but currently that wouldn't cost him anything. But it is crucial to know, Pete Preens made it past 30 minutes before making that pit stop.
But was that his first pit stop? I have that as his second.
Ah, second stop. Okay. Can still cause problems later on, but unlikely. Yeah.
Could cause issues for some of the drivers as they pit cycle, but I don't think two stop is on the cards here.
My assumption, just looking at these numbers without actually working out who got race wins, is that Daniel Morpie may potentially have more race wins.
Congratulations, Daniel Morpie, you have won the vibe check. There means nothing for the championship, but... ooh, when did Callum look?
Oh, on the dries! Callum Lux is going for dries! Surely! Melvin Gack is in the pit on dries. Is Callum Lux going to gamble on dries here?
Melvin Gack is staying in the pits on dries.
It's dries for Callum Lux. You can see them on the barrier. Morpie wins if they're tied, we're told by race control. But this could change everything because Matthias Weissen is now in P4.
But what this... There's still so much spray. This is... Callum Lux is gambling, and... You know what, in your position, sure, I don't mind a bit of, like, risking, but, like... You see the issue already. I'm so scared for Callum Lux right now.
If this goes wrong, this could swing the championship right back towards Matthias Weissen. Just follow on board.
Iron Vesga is the menacing purple car in the background.
He already knows there's too much speed, but he keeps it pointed and keeps it on the road.
Good car control from Callum Lux. Doesn't look
Sector 2
fast.
time is not bad at all. It's about 7 tenths, but remember, his tyres are cold as well. 7 tenths off what the wets did, so I think this might not be a bad call from Callum Lux.
Vesga is able to close up to the back of him, though, quite consistently, so I'm not sure right now. You can't see it from this onboard, but there is a menacing looking... I don't actually know what Vesga's in, the Mercedes. In the rear... And there it goes. We're a lot closer than I thought we were. I don't think we're there yet.
No, I think we're a lap or two away, though.
5-10 minutes. This is iRacing. The track does not dry.
I think the mistake that Callum Lux may have made here is if he'd gone a couple more laps, whether the track conditions changed or not, he'd be better on fuel to try and make it to the end as well. We'll carry on though. The pace isn't brilliant, but it definitely doesn't justify another pit stop for Callum Lux. Taylor Lemray's been black flagged for him.
Yep. And it's just a loss of 1Xs, I think, for Lemray. I think Gak had a speeding on pit exit that's just been cleared.
Quinton Verdonk is pretty quick at the moment, by the way. He is bringing down that gap. As they run, by the way, Luca Picardi will win the championship. There you go, for another fastest lap for Quinton Verdonk, and that was 2 race leader. Well, nearly 3 seconds quicker, actually, race leader. Now, the Sector 1 time from Callum Lux was 4 tenths shy of the Sector 1 time of Daniel Morphy, but Matthias Vuyten is the car we need to watch. He's only 4 tenths shy of Matthias Vuyten, and in Sector 3, he's 3 tenths quicker than a lot of the field, 4 tenths quicker than some of the other cars. So maybe the grip is now there in some parts of the lap for Callum Lux. Saw him struggling in the second half of the lap, and that made the case. Track is very lightly wet, say race control.
I need to see what the grip through horseshoes like. Preem's off. That has championship implications, because I don't know where Vuyten is on the track right now.
Long way behind him. About 30 seconds back, but is Albert Preem going to come to the pit lane? No, he's not. He's going to stay out. And remember, Albert Preem could help his teammate out here if he was going to give up the race.
If this championship gets decided by team orders, I will scream.
The lead is coming down at the front, by the way. Absolutely dropping feet. We're going to keep an eye on that. Fastest in Sector 3, personal best in Sector 3, personal best in Sector 4 for Callum Lux, and they are very good Sector 3 and Sector 4s. In fact, a second quicker than some cars in Sector 4. I think we have now hit the dries, but you've got to not make a mistake, and you've got to bring them up to temperature. Remember, it took Callum Lux at least a lap to bring these tyres up to temperature, with aggressive weaving down the straight. But I think we're going to get some more cars in to try it soon. Daniel Morphy is stretching out that lead, by the way, in GT Pro, which is going to be crucial for opening up a pit stop window.
I think you need to get to 25 minutes. No, 25 minutes, 45 minutes. Do you need to get to 45 minutes?
It seemed to be about 25 minutes on a tank, didn't it? So, to be honest, I think if you pit here, you can probably just about make it to the end. You're probably going to use more fuel now that's dry.
Yeah, I would definitely. I don't know what the fuel numbers are like currently, and I don't know what they're going to be like in the future, so this becomes very awkward.
Callum Lux 2 personal bests in Sector 1 and Sector 2. Sector 1 only 4 times quicker than the leader, but versus Matthias Vuyten, that doesn't 7 times quicker than the leader. But,
45 minutes is the point where I'd
Sector
say you can definitely make it to the end of the race, based on what we've seen on previous runs.
With one more stop after that, that is, I think, right?
Yes, yes. Like you will be on the same number of stops as everyone else. Is the important detail.
Callum Lux is flying here. Look at the closing speed on Ivan Vezga. Now we are properly in the swap changeover period. Callum Lux is going to struggle
this was
to
the
make
other way
up.
around.
He's going to struggle to make up the pit stop loss, so I think is going to be a problem here for Callum Lux. Around the outside, we'll try and get to the dry a bit of a track under braking, and does, and keeps it on the road. Crucially,
yeah,
Vezga's going to try and stick his nose back down, but not beat the grip. slick tyres on exit. Mateus Viten into the pit lane.
Fuel is a little riskier than I'd like. I'd maybe go one more, but I don't hate the call. If this is to dries, and it should be on to dries, this might be a championship-winning move.
Only 5 seconds behind though, so he will come out once again in 5 once you remove Binsbergen from the equation.
Yep, there it is. Dry tyre. But Lux has to pit 2 more times. Hopefully, assuming the fuel works out, Biden should only need to pit once.
Callum Lux sets the fastest lap of the race in GT3, a 1:16.
I kind of want to stay with Viten here because I want to try and get an idea of what the tyres, the cold tyres, are going to do. He's got
very crucial there to be ahead of the jockeying car. This is crucial for Viten. Cannot afford a mistake here. I think we're going to see Morphy maybe try and go a lap or 2 longer to make sure he's got extra fuel to burn at the end of this race if he needs it. No, he's in the pit lane now.
Yeah, no, this is a good... I think this is just about on the window. 23
Sanchez
minutes.
follows him in as well from P2.
Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot.
Nice to see a race finally dry up in the Amstel Racing IMSA series. The Madon contest slicks, by the way, in GTP as well. Sorry, we missed that one. Will become a problem for Van der Wacker quite quickly.
Right, and looks like he's holding on to it as well. This horseshoe was the undoing for Lux.
Morphy was showing pit exit for me for a second, but is back up on the jack, so I think that was just a mistake. Albert Preem has carried on, by the way.
You don't like that call from Preem.
Oh, spinner on the exit at the pit lane. That's Melvin Gack. Was on those very cold dries because he'd been sat there in the pit lane for so long and has already found the barrier and lost the rear wing.
So I was going to say earlier, like, if we do ASR merch, the thing I'd actually just like on a shirt is please tow. Melvin Gack, you are missing a rear wing. You are not hauling this thing around a damp track without a rear. Please tow.
Daniel Morphy a long way ahead of some of the competition here. Sergio Sanchez 2 seconds behind him. Who can get these tyres into a warm window better? Callum Lux is absolutely flying and has put himself a long way ahead of Mateus Viten by getting on those dries a little bit earlier. There's going to be a question for the McLaren driver. Mateus has that 10-second time penalty serve, which could cost him if Callum Lux makes up enough time on that stint on the dries to offset plus another 10 seconds for the penalty as the lapped car gets out of the way.
Yep. I would like to formally apologise to Melvin Gack. The rear wing was attached and it just magically teleported back on afterwards.
It indeed.
You don't need to tow.
Wet tyres for the driver running P2 in GTP, but the driver running P1 still on the wets. Purple Sector 1. So, Van der Wacker still finding time on the full wet tyres. Albert Preem and Van Bisbergen still on the wets in GT3, as is Vesga and Bossy in GT1.
I suspect that purple P1 from Van der Wacker might be because the track is drying and therefore getting faster, and Van der Wacker is a very good driver.
Lemmerate into the pits. There is damage on the back of that Drakian car. It's not as bad as it looks.
It's definitely damaged. It's just it's damage you could haul around a track, which is definitely preferable to taking it out. Just most of the times when you get that kind of damage, you should tow.
So Matisse essentially running 5th right now. So
yes,
is not where he needs to be if Daniel Morphy were to win the race, but is about 40 seconds behind Callum Lux. Now we need to know what the pit time loss is. Throw that up for you. Pit lane time.
Oh, Vine, that's not where you want to go.
Pit lane time is about a minute.
For a full set of tyres.
For tyres and fuel.
Jack, I'm not having a good day. Melvin Gack, I believe that's an incident point black flag. I say that like Matteo Lemmery isn't running 3rd right now. It may be lost GTPs, but that's still a podium.
Cream finally onto the tries. Binsbergen still carrying on the wets.
And also, that's not even technically last of the GTPs, that's last of the running GTPs. Lemery has made it further than two of the drivers. I do feel bad for Ashad. One of those was definitely... Does that actually concluded by race control, that lap 0 incident? Oh, Preens.
I'm not sure.
Because I don't remember seeing anything like lap 0.
Investigation.
That might be a big hit for Lemery. Just avoids the barrier.
Sanchez getting lucky as well. Had a moment chasing Morphy. So lucky to go on the grass like that. Andy saying no one incidents under investigation has clearly forgot about the lap 0 incident.
Oh, Veska into the barrier very gently, rear wing showing off for me. I'm not sure that'll stay that way.
Green has been going off the road a little bit, but still 25 seconds ahead.
Binsbergen's still on wet, so I think I'm just playing the fuel game at this point.
Dave van der Vacker into the pits from the lead will be for the wets, but may lose the lead here.
We'll be on for the dries, you'd think.
Sorry, yes, for the dries, but we'll probably potentially lose the lead here today for Quinton Donk. Callum looks in the pit lane with a meatball.
Oh dear.
Well, this could really save Des Viton's day. Big snappings.
Whoa.
Toe.
That is a wild place to have a moment. And also a completely insane moment as well.
And that is going to hand P4 to Matthias Viton.
The races don't get any less cursed. I'm sorry, like... Someone cast a spell on Callum Lux's car that just made it decide to turn left. There is no alternative. Like that just snapped out from underneath. That's wild.
Will take P4 on the road, which will be enough for the championship if he's able to finish it. Has a 10-second time penalty to serve, but Pete Preens is a long, long way back from.
And Robin van Binsbergen now on the dries, but a ways behind. Also probably not likely to challenge.
A minute back to Preens. He's the most likely to be able to stretch it on full pit for dryness. That's kind of be relevant. Or me.
Oh, Morphy! How the bloody hell did you save that? We'll lose the lead, but my god, what a power slide.
Seen it go wrong for Callum Lux. We're about to see it go wrong for Daniel Morphy. Somehow not maintain the lead, but maintain P2. And that's just how quickly it can go wrong, and that's just how quickly it can go wrong for any driver in this field. Right,
and there's a race for lead GTP. Van der Vacker now has pressure from Quinton Verdonk.
Kevin in chat right now, Viton would win, I believe, with the way they run. And right now, Quinton Verdonk is going to try and take the lead in the Ferrari, and is going to do so on the exit with some mega drive in that Ferrari. Remember, Davey potentially playing the long game here on fuel, be able to push a lot more and a lot more aggressively was. But remember how difficult these GTP tyres are to get up to temperature, and in these wet conditions, it's even harder. Remember how quickly they drop off as well, how quickly the grip goes away, especially around a track with so many high-speed corners like Road America, and maybe Dave van der Vacker will be able to fight back once it gets those tyres into temperature a little bit more.
I'm just surprised how easy it was for Verdonk to gun down Van der Vacker like that. That was foot down and Verdonk could just blast off into the distance. That's an insane amount of speed difference in the launch out of turn 14 there. Luca Picardi currently trying to harass, I believe that's Binsbergen. Won't get the magical Ferrari launch out the final corner, but might have enough of a toe to take the lead anyway. Stay out line, pulls back in. Maybe like with turn 1, the toe will get close, but once you pull out in these GT3s, you just get hit with a wave of air, and it makes it very hard to make a pass. Goes for a double dip the toe.
Luca Picardi just trying to clear the invitational entry here.
Yes.
GT3 race leader being passed by your GTP race leader here. Orp is going to close back up a little bit because of that. The two leaders are stuck again, and I think Dave Van der Backer will have a good go down the straight here.
What I'm worried about is Verdonk going to put the foot down and launch off into the distance. It's not happening. Van der Backer coming back slightly, but you need a little bit of an overlap to make a move. That's a huge overspeed action. He's going to set down the inside.
That's going to go so wrong, surely.
Ooh.
Dave Van der Backer with the fastest lap of the race in chase of
if they crashed, Matteo Lemmerich.
We're 6 minutes away from 1 hour into the race and normal race finishing time. Okay, for the season finale of season 10. So plenty of action still to come today. As the lap traffic is going to make this interesting again.
To be fair, there are very few GT3s left on the field, and they are very sparse. There should be a straight shootout between these two. Van der Backer is able to hold pace.
If he can stick close through the horseshoe, that is going to be a big indication of what can come down the main straight or into Canada corner. Does stick relatively close actually, and will now start to put the power down, sit in the toe of the Ferrari and use it to pull himself towards and into an attacking position. The gap is 2.5 temps. It's coming down towards 2 temps. It's not going to be close enough for a move onto the brake into Canada corner, but is potentially going to be a move into turn 1 down the start finish straight, as it nearly was last time.
So much better.
Nearly a collision last time. Oh, and so much more grip through there. Able to take a much tighter line, get some clean air on the nose, and he's going to have a proper run down the start finish straight here. Vaca absolutely flying. Now those tyres are up to temperature. Sits in the toe. Goes to the left. The defence is to the inside for the Ferrari. They're side by side into turn 1. Can Van der Backer use those BMW brakes, which aren't brilliant, but are better than the Ferrari ones, to hang it around the outside? No, he can't. And potentially be another opportunity to turn 5, or is there an opportunity into turn 3? No, there's not. Van der Backer might have compromised the run into turn 5 here, but no, still gets a decent exit, and he's closing once again on the Ferrari rapidly.
The BMW has a lot more pace than the Ferrari does right now. Oh, here we go. GT3 on the way.
To the outside
Donk
again
on the
for Van der Backer. Going to try and keep his nose in this time, though.
No. I think Verdonk can just go defensive here.
Orp has closed down the lead in GT3 Pro as well, but Matthias Weitin currently runs P4, which is all he needs to do.
I'm just a little scared right now because these two are definitely going at it.
A bit further back than he was this time last lap, but as long as he closes up by the time he gets to Canada corner, then that's when the can be deemed to be on or not. Be on the brakes in
The last time Van der Backer was so much better through this last sector of the track.
It is again. Ferrari says too much, but the Ferrari's off! And they're going to be side by side in the final corner, and Van der Backer is going to sweep ahead. But is that going to give the Ferrari a tow down the start-finish straight?
Not enough. Not from that far back. You cannot gain enough speed down here, even if it's a huge straight. I'm now curious what if Verdonk has the pace to keep close, because it seemed like Van der Vacker was able to hold onto the back of Verdonk for the longest time. I'm just worried Verdonk is just going to fall back now. Does stay about half a second back through 1, 2, 3, but Van der Vacker definitely has the better straight line. At least the initial launch. Verdonk gets later on the brakes, but can't really complete the corner as nicely. There is a GT3 ahead of them as we go for a replay. This is the move.
This is the wrong move, sorry. This is the one we want to see. Ferrari ahead, carrying too much speed. We turn 13 and off. Costly mistake.
And oh, that is the perfect time to get a GT3 for Van der Vacker just on the entry to the horseshoe. And that's put Verdonk behind through the entire horseshoe. No confidence in that Ferrari try and offset the line. Chooses to stay behind the entire way, and that's now 1.7 seconds. Beautiful multiclass driving there for Van der Vacker. And now a huge advantage for the BMW driver. Morphy not able to get past Sergio Sanchez Cachafiero yet. Will need to if he wants a chance at winning the championship. Although currently as Viton runs, that is a moot point. It will be 30 minutes 45 seconds remaining on the clock as they take the line. Still a long way to go in this race. We've seen some explosive action from some of these drivers earlier on, but now the track drying out. Not quite completely dry, but every driver on the slicks. And that's just a case of just raw pace at this point. Everywhere you'd want to go is basically normal grey tarmac.
GT3 battle is going to get in the way of the race leader here, but he's going to find a slot down the inside.
Oh, that's going to help Picardi. And now they're offset by this much. It's going to give Van der Vacker the first move on all these GT3s, which is going to really upset them enough to the point where it's going to make it hard for Verdonk to clear them as efficiently. And that's just going to build more time for Van der Vacker through traffic. Morphy and Sanchez close once again. They come up over the hill, but still Sanchez leads Morphy. So we take a look at Mercedes driver trying to hunt down the BMW.
Really pushing it. Morphy knows he needs to get into the lead, no matter what happens. Biden.
So
to get into the lead and hope it goes wrong for his rival.
Inside of the horseshoe, still a little bit slick. Drivers seem to be avoiding it, but Morphy gets a huge run on the exit. It's not going to be close enough to make a move, but it's going to put him right in the rearview mirror of Cachafiero.
What Morphy will be doing here is saving a lot more fuel than Sanchez is able to do. Saving that fuel will allow him to go shorter in that final pit stop, which could...
Morphy with the earlier apex,
no.
Too early an apex.
He'll close up from this far back before. He's going to try and do it again. Catching
it's a lot of work you have to, like, yeah. Because you still have to catch again now is the main issue. Yep, this is definitely a long race. We've passed the hour mark, and at this point my brain is normally very much done with the race. And I just had a moment of clunk, where my brain just sort of caught up with me, and then found nothing. Vadavaca still needs GTP ahead of Quinton Vidal. Matteo Emery 1 lap down, but third place is third place.
Yep. First podium in the GTP class for Matteo. I'm sure he will be back next season, but I don't know what class he's going to be in.
Ooh, Matteo Emery got very close to the rear bumper of... yes, Casciafiero. As tries the high side, gets a little bit too high
gets a black
side.
flag with that off track, and Daniel Morphy coming through here avoids him okay. Update on points as well. Matthias Weiten running on 14. And Matthias is going to have to be careful. That could be costly, especially when Pete Preen's behind is only on 9. A 4x hit for Albert Preem or a couple of off tracks could really, really cost him. Oh, contact!
Ooh,
Daniel Morphy is sent off
happy.
the road by the GTP. Take a look from off board.
It looks like a good send.
Bit too much. I think that'll be going to race control.
Yeah,
Daniel Morphy
not
will
a
be
great camera angle, but
particularly upset to have then seen the GTP going into the pit lane to serve a drive-through.
I will
No
say
one
I just got a
running
notification
behind
from
him.
Race Control in a different server, so I would like to inform Race Control to please watch the race.
Won't be very happy about that. If there's any damage on the car,
Thank
the
you.
left-hand side looks okay. Hardy off the road
Nope.
from the lead.
11 seconds to the next GT3 AM driver. I think Picardi... I don't know if the championship is confirmed or is very likely to be confirmed with a good finish here, but...
As they run, Luca Picardi will take the championship.
Yes. And Race Control give that a very quick racing incident. Now, Hamna felt, but Morphy definitely not going to be too happy about that.
No, he's well and truly out of the tow now for Daniel Morphy.
Obviously has the pace to close that gap back up again, but again, it's more time spent not pressuring Sergio and not trying to force the way through. And again, all of this would be like winning a race is always nice. You'd rather win a championship, and right now, fighting in fourth is kind of ruining those plans. So Taylor Emery is not having a great day at the races, and presumably he's going to have another off track in a moment. Again, third place runner, technically a great finish, but another a different kind of spin, I suppose. But it's adding to the instant point count certainly.
Off the road briefly. Not covered much GT3 AM this season. The focus has mainly been on the incredibly tight fights we've had in GT Pro, but Luca Picardi's been in all season.
Oh, that's a purple lap for Morphy. So just to say, we've been focusing on the GT3 Pro race all season.
And with good reason, because Daniel Morphy does the fastest lap of the race in GT3 Pro and is pushing back onto Sanchez. Remember, if Morphy wins, Weiten needs a top 4. Weiten is currently a long, long way ahead of Pete Breen's. Breen's has done 3 stops, so I'm a little bit confused what's going on here. Who even knows? But remember, Matthias Weiten has that 10-second time at the end of the race and is in the pit lane this time by. So we'll make it to the end from here. I'm trying to work out when Pete Breen's last pit. Breen's last left the pits. Into race.
So should be fine. Yeah.
May be able to make a save.
No, definitely will. That is
I'll
like
be able to tell you a little bit
sub
better
20
when it
minutes
actually was.
of the stint.
No, it was in the pits. Last pit stop was 46 minutes. It will not be able to make it to the end.
No, that's 22 minutes per stint if you split it straight down the middle. That's more than makeable.
Well, yeah, it's makeable
this
for
is-
Matthias Vuyten. It's not makeable for Pete Preens, though, I don't think.
Oh yeah, no, you need to pit once more from there, but that's still fine. Asterisk assuming you're not running
But I think
ways off the pace
Matthias
from
can now
everybody.
get to the end, can he? I think just...
Yes, should be able to.
That's, yeah.
And also assuming nothing funny happens, which, I mean, Rinsbergen's right there. I don't say I want something to happen, but it would be...
The invitational
would
entry
be
taking out the
drama.
championship, his championship contending. Daniel Morphy into the pit lane, as is Sanchez. As Morphy saved enough fuel here to jump Sanchez in the stops are incredibly close coming to their boxes.
Morphy's been in the wars a bit more, though, so I'm not sure.
Either of these drivers taking fresh tyres.
45 minutes on set. Excuse me, TC3 tyres should be fine.
Vuyten to Preens, by the way, I think the gap is about 30 seconds. Can't jump. Either. Vuyten has to serve a drive-through penalty, 10-second time penalty. Still very much on, so Vuyten's going to be careful in this stint.
The-
Up any.
Bear in mind, Prings does still need 2 pits. So, much as it is anticlimactic, Vuyten should win the championship with this result. No likely pressure from behind, but obviously you slip a tyre, you end up in the gravel and in the barrier, and you're losing a lap at least. I believe Vuyten would have burned the fast repair in that opening. Yeah, he did burn the fast repair in the opening lap incident, I remember. And based on the gaps right now, I don't think Binsbergen's giving Vuyten a gap. So we might... We're not out of the woods yet.
Binsbergen still pressuring his teammate. Hello.
Rennebacker leads for Donkin Lemorain, GTP. Vesca is definitely leading. Piccoli is taking the final pit stop of the race. And with that little bit of more of a gap, Binsbergen is going to give Vuyten one less thing to worry about immediately, I would say. As Morphy has caught by the back of Sanchez. Oh, they are close.
Potential for a move here. Daniel Morphy. Just might see the championship contender on his outside and think I'm not going to fight him too much. But he's going to fight him, and he's going to push him off the road a little bit there. I've lost between the... This?
Honestly, if I'm Morphy, I might have taken a small hip check there just to establish space and also... like, say to Sanchez, listen, I am here.
Another
You
good
have to let me by
exit.
at some point. Otherwise, race
exit
control
from
is going to have
Morphy
to get
here.
involved. God, Morphy has so much pace right now, just on a straight line. Early defensive move from Sanchez. It's going to be side by side in the braking. They're going to have to tuck back in. It's a
Morphy
little
tries
damp
to
out there.
switch back, but yeah, too far off the racing line, and the rear end gets loose. Going to have to build up again to mount another attack.
Still very close though, and that gap is more than makeable. Like you see how aggressive that Mercedes is on the straights, and is able to hold pace through the corners as well. I think Morphy's first place in waiting, but I've said that for a while now. You do have to make the overtake at some point, unfortunately. Oh, contact on pit entry. presumably an NFA, but very funny nonetheless.
Drivers who we're looking at, any idea?
Yep, this is the incident.
Up. Clearing the lapped car here. Morpy and Sergio Sanchez catch a Fiero.
Does upset Morpy's braking a little bit. We'll lose a little bit of time through here, though.
David van der Back into the pits from the race lead. Donker's already made that 4th pit stop. And Lemray pits. Well. Really into the final 15 minutes of this race, final 15 minutes of season 10. Getting qualifying if you want to join us for next season. I saw Kevin in chat already say he's signed up. Over to Andy has all the link in the website. You can direct yourself to the correct page and head over to the Discord if you've got a chance. Any questions? Drivers from this season. Morpy with a good exit here. That gap came down a lot then. Traffic in front could shake things up a little bit here as well. There's going to be some laps. 3 cars ahead. That's Ivan Vesga, teammate of Sergio Sanchez catch a Fiero.
If we get team orders from lapped cars, I will scream.
Are back this time.
I keep threatening to scream. I haven't had to do it yet. Don't make me do it.
The pit lane.
Oh, that's interesting, actually. If he gets the undercut on Viton, that could make things spicy. Not in terms of points, but in the fact that Viton has to actually do something.
Here, can't he, I think.
Oh, yeah. And also doesn't actually care about overtaking Binsbergen, because that would still be 4th place on points.
But wouldn't want to be pushed
never mind.
Back down the order any further.
It's time to Prings is the main issue, because obviously Binsbergen doesn't count for points. And also, Viton's already made the final stop, so what am I talking about? Yeah, I have actually gone insane at this point.
Lapped car's about to make things interesting.
Oh, here we go.
Back in the chat.
Vesga, I love you, but please be careful.
To get out of the way of both
it's
of
a
them
punt.
here. Sanchez and Morpy, they both picked up a drive-through for the 4X that they just had with each other. What's this going to do? Albert Preem, 28 seconds down the road, these two are going to go straight through the pit lane and hope that they come out in the lead. He told you it wasn't over. That's how quickly you can get a drive-through. Mateus will be thinking exactly the same thing.
Okay. We've got a race. I don't know how, but the final 15 minutes have turned into an absolute showstopper now because they're both going to drive through the pit lane. Preem is not going to get close enough, I don't think. They should get up to speed by the time Preem gets to them. But also, holy moly.
Well, they are up to speed, but Preem is definitely in this fight now if these two lose too much time fighting each other. Incident is under investigation, unsurprisingly. Well, they're going to catch Vesga again at some point, but not for a while. Then Matteo Lemray briefly off the road, but has carried on, so we'll not jump to that.
Yep.
Matteo Lemray will now have run 80% race distance, by the way, so will finish on the podium.
Incredible stuff. Yeah, Viton looking very comfortable in 4th place. Shouldn't lose it on merit. But there's still 13 minutes left in this race, you know, can't lose your head completely.
Well, we've seen it go wrong in the final lap before, so there's still a long way to go.
For all the drama we've seen, Sanchez and Morpy haven't technically lost anything. The gap is reduced, but they are still running 1 and 2, so...
Rings has just passed Ivan Vesga. Take a look at that move. Not for position, but for track position. Racing instant that collision which brought the 2 drivers into the pit lane for a drive-through and pass into Canada corner for the pro driver.
Oh, Preem's around, in the wall. What the hell happened there? Wait, no, if Preen's
Well, Ian
parks it
Bess
here, then...
passes.
Good job avoiding.
Yes,
but
if he parks it, that's race over. That's championship over. But no, he's carrying on. Lemre with black flag again.
Instant points are not Pokemon. You do not need to collect them
Daniel
all.
Morphy, a 10th behind for the race lead, is going to try it into turn 1 once again, but is a little bit too far back. And Sanchez knows where he needs to defend.
And he gets on the water. Beautiful drift, but not fast. Morphy gives up a little bit of space to the BMW. But again, it's just this... The straights just look so much better for Morphy right now. He's able to close up and potentially look for another move into turn 5. Didn't work out too well the previous time. It's going to force it to go around the outside. Nope, chooses to back out early. Try and tuck it in on a racing line. You can see Sanchez compromising the entry.
Morphy able to keep the pressure on though, so we'll try and force a mistake from the BMW ahead. See if he can regain the lead that way. Make a difference in the championship, but want to come away with another win this season. Remember, the Mercedes that was not chosen by him, was chosen by his fellow drivers in a poll in pre-season. So has done incredibly well to fight for the title. Just been told by race control to plug season. Time's up.
Antistallracing.com. Sign up now. Is that the URL? I don't even know.
Antistall.racing. Not antistallracing.
Oh, very nice.
Head over to antistall.racing to sign up for and get all your information. And head over to the Discord, because as I touched on last week...
Here we go.
Morphy going to be on the outside,
Side by side.
but he's going to be marginally ahead perhaps into the braking zone, but not far enough ahead. But can he cut back and switch back to carry a little bit more speed through the apex of Canada Corner? Yes, he can. He's going to try and go around the outside here. This has gone wrong for Morphy before, but it was with the GTP last time. Morphy shuffled out wide, but he's still alongside, and we'll get down the inside into the final corner. We'll try and get the drive off the final corner, and Sanchez behind will try for a cutback, but he can't do it, and Morphy retakes the lead in GT3, and the championship is on if something goes wrong for Matthias Weitzen behind.
But Morphy's done everything to get to this point. Everything you can to at least try and get this championship. You can go no further. You just have to keep Sanchez behind, which might be easier said than done, but for now, it's no longer in Morphy's hands. It is in the hands of the Dutchman in 4th place, who does just need to drive a normal race for the last 10 minutes. How hard could that possibly be?
Well, we saw it go wrong on the last lap for several drivers at the Hockenheim ring, so it's not over till the checkered flag. Head over to the Antistall Racing Discord page as well to hear upcoming information about the Indy Next series, a free entry series running on free and popular tracks. Potentially a couple of short ovals as well for new to get their eyes into. We're looking forward to that series. Who wants to find out more, head over to the, like I said, there'll be an announcement in the coming days. Daniel Morphy not pulling away from Sanchez, but edging slowly away. Now he's outside of half a second to the driver in P2.
Based on the pace on the previous laps, I wasn't expecting him to shoot away, but just slowly start to edge away from the BMW, get some space. Oh, with a tow from a car in front of him, that's going to help out massively as well.
Gap is a second now, so Morphy really putting his foot down.
As long as his lap car gets out of the way in a reasonable place, should be massive for Morphy.
Green, by the way, 8 times quicker than Sanchez on the previous lap. You get
See him
involved.
just peeking over the hill there in the background of the shots.
That car pulls out of the way. That's Ben Groneveld, I believe, or back Greens even.
Certainly is yellow car.
Morpy outside of a second now.
Yeah. Like, I feel like at this point, Morpy is definitely pulling away from Sanchez Cafiero. And like, Pring could make a challenge, but it's going to be a late challenge, if anything. Have a look at Matteo Lemerate, who's,
Running
don't
in the podium
know-
position, and I don't think can not finish on the podium now. We're going to talk about it too much. Wait.
I think might have also set the single race record for incident points, but we'll gloss over that detail.
Got to hand it to Matthias Weiten. It's only P4, but given what happened on the first lap with getting punted from behind under the brakes, and you know, has recovered well and hasn't made any real mistakes since. There's been a couple of small off tracks, but no major incidents for Matthias Weiten, and that's what's allowed him to work his way back up to P4. Other people have had incidents in the wet, which he's avoided, and that making a big difference in this race for Matthias Weiten. Remember, he wouldn't have been P4 right now had Callum Lux not made that big mistake and found the barrier at the horseshoe.
Casado and Van der Mulbrook also retiring from the pro category. Melvin Gack has been in the pits for a hot minute, as has, well, Simon Bertolini has retired. I think Gack has basically retired as well. Wait, no, Gack's a recent pit. Well, that's
I
that
believe
plus 2
Jack
laps
has
is just wrong.
come into the pit lane, but
Well,
that's
behind
what it flashed up on the
Casado?
screen momentarily. But
Am I
don't think
losing my
that can be
mind?
true. No, Gack's been in the pits for Dina. That in. Maybe just got back into the car. Have all the repairs been completed?
Get the car out for the celebrations, understandable.
Sanchez pushing on again. That gap was a second. He's back down to 6 tenths.
I struggle to convince myself that a move's going to be coming just on the fact that Morphy was consistently able to pull towards Sanchez. But this is definitely the closest on-track battle, so 5 minutes left in the race. And I am going to make the mistake of giving myself the Weiten cam in case something goes horribly wrong.
David van der Wacker lost the lead at one stage in this race and gained it back. Then went an awful lot longer on the wets than anybody else did. Switched to the dries, lost the lead, and then powered past Quinton Verdonk. He had to have a few goes at it. Harassed him for 4 or 5 laps before he retook the lead. Did so after a small mistake from Quinton Verdonk that allowed them to go side by side through the final corner. Really looked back since. The gap hovering around 11.5, 12 seconds laps now. If work out what the lap time is, it's about a 1:54, so going to be to go at the line for Davy van der Wacker. There's back out second the gap.
Quick note on GT3 AM as well, that Vesga has slowly been taking bits out of Picardi's lead. That now down to under 5 seconds, but unfortunately with the time left in this race, I don't think it's going to be enough for Vesga to get to Picardi, and I think Luca might have this one wrapped up for the AM category at least.
Yeah, as they run, Matthias Weiten will take the championship, as will Luca Picardi. The dog. For that in GP. Ben Groneveld still going strong in the McLaren down in P4. Obviously, we'll run you through our champions at the end of today, but if you want to find the full results, you can head over to the website, to the Discord channel, and all of our prize winners will be as soon as the standings are confirmed and finalised. Jessica's still pushing on, but not quite as quick this lap. Yes.
And time definitely ticking down, so
This Vicen's
Cardi-
been very disciplined. Well, no off tracks. Like, Muppy and obviously served the drive-through, but it's been racking up off tracks as well since then.
they've also been racing quite hard, so that's a little less surprising. Okay, when you start pushing, that's when the mistakes start to creep in, and that's when you start to just push a little too hard. And sometimes you push a little too hard on corner exit and pick up a 1x. Sometimes you push too hard into your rival's rear bumper and you both get 4x's with drive-throughs attached.
Donk is pushing out front. Gap is down to 10 seconds. But it's about, well, it'll be about to go, a lap to go. I think this is going to be white flag for David van der Wacker. The little man waving the flag. We can't because that is a terrible angle. Yes, we can. White flag. David van der Wacker. 1 lap to go to finish off the season. And Matteo Lemire has found the wall with 1 lap to go.
Oh,
I think actually has somehow avoided the wall despite being such a high-speed moment. The tyre struggling on that GTP, catches the water on the inside, nearly saves it, and wow, that could have been a very bad end to the race from Matteo Lemire to the end. Carry on.
that would be quite a funny ending if you get this far in the race just to blow up the car. Actually, I can't say that. Anyway, Van der Wacker.
Pushing on, passes Sanchez this lap. The race 1 lap shorter. Past Daniel Morphy shortly, who did a great job all race today. A couple of mistakes, but has done everything he needed to do. Did the race win, just unfortunately championship. As they run that half a lap.
Gets on the blinks to say, "Hey, I am." Wait, no, we've seen race controls notes on this. Okay, no, when they're going to make the move before they get to the kink, that's fine.
Matteo Lemire is being black flagged, so the majority on the final lap was 35-second time. Kevin Vassantvort asks, who is the champion at the moment in AM? Oh no, who is champ at the moment? Champ at the moment is Matthias Weiten. They cross the line as they run right now. Matthias Weiten will be
Brackets in GT3 Pro.
Pro GTP. Quinton Verdonk won the champ round. Gap that he had. Dave van der Wacker will win today's race, so in the BMW, pretty dominant performance in the end. Played the strategy right, played the tyres right, and will win in E. Daniel Morphy wins in GT3 Pro, but it will only be P2 in the championship for the Dutchman, unfortunately.
Well, don't say it yet. There's still Canada corner for White, and he does need to finish this race. Preens is on the lead lap, or
yeah, he is. No, he has taken the checkered flag now.
Preens is not on the lead lap, but Matthias Weiten has won the GT3 Pro Championship.
The multiple-time GTP champion, when the class first came to the Amstel Racing IMSA Series, will now win in GT3. Going to get some donuts. Luca Picardi, your champion in GT3 AM as well, although he's still got half a lap to go to do so. And Veska.
Oh, Veska's got it massively.
And Matthias Weiten has finished ahead of Albert Preem as well. I think Preem out of fuel.
Oh, imagine if that was the championship deciding moment.
Yeah, I'm very glad that the championship was not decided by your teammate running out of fuel. Veska really putting the pressure on here with just a lap to go. This could affect the championship, I believe. Lemire is getting a 35-second time penalty, finishing with an unserved black flag. That was expected.
And still finishes P3. Veska chasing, but looks very far back. Picardi, though, with 1 slip, and we have a race to the finish. You have to be good here. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be good, and that looks good to me.
Yeah, just turn 14 and 13 to go now. 13's been difficult this race, but it's not difficult for him, and Veska really pushing the absolute limits here, and probably knows it's not on the table, but he's going to give it everything to the line. He get a good exit, he can, but it's not going to be enough to beat the MW29. Ivan Veska will finish P2, and Luca Picardi will take the win and the championship in GT3 AM. All 3 championship winners on the podium in the end, after Albert Preem ran out of fuel towards the end of the race, allowing Matthias Weiten to pass him. Getting some donuts here from Albert
Yeah, we
Preem.
are.
From Des Vites,
And
sorry.
and more
Let's
P.
go! Come on!
Come on, Luca. Come on, Luca. Very, very good race, man.
Thanks, Ivan, thanks. Very great race from YouTube.
Van Vesca there, your
You
GT free.
have damage on the end of the race or fuel or what?
No, just with the fuel. I was managing the fuel.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Okay, okay.
So BMW flies up the road in the wrong direction. And we got some donuts here, as we always do at the end of the season. Right, let's take a look at our race results. GTP, Davy van der Wacker won by 8 seconds out of Quinten Verdonk. Matteo Lemire finally gets a podium at the last opportunity in GTP. Ahead of Daniel Renek and beat a qualifying race distance. GT3 Pro was won by Daniel Morphy ahead of Sergio Sanchez Cachafiero, who had a great battle all the way through the race. Mercedes Viton takes P3 after his teammate Albert Preem ran out of fuel on the last lap. Invitational entry of Binsbergen will come home in P5. Pete Preens will take P4 in the points ahead of Callum Lux, Alberto Casado, and Vincent van der Moelenbroek, who didn't a qualifying race distance. GT3 AM, Luca Picardi wins by just 3 tenths in the end after managing fuel on the last lap ahead of Ivan Vesca, Quinton Bosi, Ben Groneveld, and Melvin Gack and Samin Bertoloni too far down to qualify for points in today's race. There you have it. 3 champions today. Quinten Verdonk in GTP, Matthias Viton in GT3 Pro, and Picardi in. Thank you to everybody that joined us all season. Thank you to you, Alice, being here all season. And, it's been great to have you. Hopefully we'll have you back again next season. And yeah, looking forward to a calendar. I just realised we've not discussed the calendar for next season. But I'll run you through it. Anybody that's thinking about joining, it is an absolutely calendar. On the 25th of September, we're going to host round 1 at Sebring. And we've got a break week for Petit Le Mans before we head to Hockenheim. Imola, then a break week for the 24-hour of Le Mans ahead of Silverstone, Belle Isle, then another break week for the Suzuka 1000 before we go to Mexico City for the first time as it joins the iRacing service before finishing off that triple header at Monza. And then what a calendar. Look forward to seeing you there. And anybody that wants to join us as a driver, of course, please head to the link.
Also, we have LMP2.
LMP2 is back with GTP, LMP2, GT3 Pro, and GT3 AM. It's going to be great, and we'll see you next time.